So, but I liked it. I said, I'm going to do that again. But
You said a pit crew, so it wasn't like you have marshals like today.
no, we had our pit crew to fit, not to marshal, to repair your car while you are changing lane, and then put it back on the car, on the track, and then by mistake they put it back on the wrong lane. And the guy was very sorry. I said that. So, but that kind of gave me a taste of it. And so I started kind of dabbling into it a little bit, but I didn't do much. And then I decided, some guy challenged me in a website because I was saying that the home racing cars were really not very good, and frankly it's possible to do much better with very little money. And so they kind of told me, oh yeah, sure, you can do that. So I designed my own car, made the tooling, spent $65,000 and made those TSR cars. And but in between the time I quit slot car, went to work for Cox, I built up a company that was making wheels, and we made a lot of money. I mean, we were selling millions of dollars of wheels. And then I sold the company in 1995 because I was tired of it. And so from 1995 I was retired and nothing to do. So I opened a slot car shop selling vintage slot cars. So I was buying collections all over the United States. And then I decided to make that little car in two sizes, in 24 scale and 32nd scale. And we sold a ton of them. We sold 26,000 of those little cars. And I really don't care if I made money or not, because that was not the point, but I proved the point that these cars could be better than anything you can buy made by big companies, and they are. And so now I'm being talked by other people. They want me to go and have a partnership with them, and I'm not sure I want to or not, but we'll see. And in the meantime, this D3 started. And so D3 was great. I'm one of the founding members of D3, and we decided to go back to the roots, because we figured out that, and I'm one of the guilty ones, that we went the wrong way at one time with this wing car stuff, and it's not fun anymore. So we created this D3, and we have had fun ever since. So now I'm retired. I'm working for Scott Beder in Los Angeles part of the time, and Scott is great because he is so dedicated. He wants to get this museum going. He wants. I'm writing a new book for him about the history of the hobby, and the guy is so dedicated and so clean thinking, and is going to do something great, in my opinion. So the museum he has created is not completely done yet, but it's going to be great, So that's where I am.
Tori first, Doug second, John third.
What do you think is the essence of what makes this slot car race? Why are you attracted to this sport?
It's an addiction. It's more fun than any hobby I have ever tried or seen. I mean, I raced vintage cars, like big time, okay? And I was doing that a lot. I raced motorcycles, and I have the same enjoyment racing big cars as I'm racing this. So it's much less dangerous on top of that.
So let me ask you a question. What's the difference when you experienced racing in Paris compared to the United States? How was the scene different? I mean, there must have been a difference.
It was a completely different country at the time. People looked at me with really great amount of hostility at the beginning because people were not used to foreigners. They really didn't see too many people that were from other countries. There was no illegal or legal immigration in the quantities that there is now. So having a kind of a Spaniard with French education here and beating them was really not unheard of, and they did not like it at all. But eventually most of these guys became my friends, and it was fine. There was no real problem eventually, but it took a while to clean that up,
So what was the difference between the way you raced in Paris and compared to the United States? Did you find differences?
Oh yes, enormous. The whole culture was so different, So
How is the European scene compared to the American scene?
Today it's completely different because Europe has gone through so much socialistic transformation that people are a little bit mentally lost in many ways, and so I'm posting nowadays on French website that talk about slot cars, and for instance they are totally afraid at the idea of building something. They need to buy it, because they are unable to think about building something. So they will race vintage cars, but only if they are like kits that they have to put together. But building a slot car chassis like a jail door is like, they are totally afraid. So it's a very interesting thing. But they can make some beautifully detailed cars.
Yeah.
Is that a reflection? Because it seems like it occurs here too, because we're not as